This is Top 10 European Dictators by Jaden Painter and Aidan Stewart. Number 10. Alexander Lukashenko. Ranked lowest on this list, this dictator won the presidential election in 1994 in Belarus and ruled as a dictator. After becoming president, Lukashenko changed the country's emblem, disregarding the rules and laws of the Supreme Soviet. After his rule, leaders of opposition parties were placed under house arrest, and 2 members of Lukashenko's cabinet mysteriously disappeared, giving him full control. Number 9. Josip Tito. Having commanded communist partitions against fascist occupation during World War II, Tito created a communist Federal People's Republic of Yugoslavia. However, Tito soon broke from Russia and Stalin to create his own dictatorship in Europe, and later died in 1980, leaving Yugoslavia in pieces. Number 8. Dome Szetogy and Miklos Horthy. In Hungary, 1944, Szetogy was a puppet leader under the real rule of Miklos Horthy. They helped out Adolf Hitler in exchange for assistance in restoring Hungarian control over lands the country had lost in World War I. But Horthy refused to deport the country's Jews, which caused a Nazi invasion. Soon, under Szetogy's rule as puppet leader, 440,000 Jews were deported to concentration camps. Szetogy was later captured by American troops and was executed in Hungary in 1946. Number 7. Enver Hoxha. Albanian's communist dictator who fought against both the Soviet Union and China before promoting a ruinous policy of national self-reliance that turned his country into what could be considered a modern-day North Korea. He banned religion, undertook eccentric public building projects, purged his inner circle multiple times, and severed nearly all of Albania's meaningful international relations. Enver had a Stalin-like personality and created a completely isolated society with no tolerance for political dissent. Under his rule, 200,000 people were imprisoned for alleged political crimes. Number 6. Mateusz Rákosi. Ranking in number 6, Rákosi became the communist leader of Hungary after gaining political power in 1945. He was considered Stalin's best Hungarian disciple and orchestrated purges, installing a repressive Soviet-aligned regime. After Stalin died in 1953, the new USSR decided that Rákosi was too brutal and deranked him to Secretary General, but eventually the USSR labeled Rákosi as a liability and removed him from power in 1956. Number 5. Benito Mussolini. Mussolini became the youngest ever Italian prime minister in 1922. He gained this power by organizing a fascist organization that attacked the political left of the country. He then turned the office into a dictatorship, and then allied with Hitler. His dictatorship inspired Hitler to form his own dictatorship. Eventually, Mussolini was executed by his own people in 1945. Number 4. Vladimir Lenin. Leader and founder of the Russian Communist Party, Lenin seized power in Russia during the October Revolution of 1917. He then led his country through a civil war, starting a regime called War Communism to deal with warfare problems. Although he was brutal, he was often called the greatest modern revolutionary. Number 3. Francisco Franco. Franco came to power in 1939 after leading the nationalist side of the Spanish Civil War. He executed tens of thousands of enemies, but stayed officially out of World War II. Even though he supported Hitler, he remained in control until his death in 1975. He was a brutal dictator, but survived because of his distancing from World War II. Number 2. Joseph Stalin. He commanded the vast Soviet Empire largely by a masterful and cold-blooded manipulation of the bureaucratic system. He condemned millions to lethal work camps and bloody purges, and controlled Russia tightly. He then started the Cold War against the US after World War II, which affected millions. Number 1. Coming in number 1 is Adolf Hitler. Hitler is arguably the most notorious dictator. He took control of Germany in 1933 and ruled until his suicide in 1945. He was deeply racist and imprisoned millions of Jews in concentration camps before executing them. He burned down most art and literature and tried to reshape Europe to conform to an Aryan ideal. In World War II, he was doing well and took over much of Europe until he gambled a bit too much and lost the Battle of Stalingrad. This turned the tides against Hitler, which led to his downfall and eventual suicide. Thank you for checking out our top 10 European dictators. If you disagree with our picks, let us know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.